Fucking, you have a legend like Donnie Yen, you stick him in like fat armor and just have him walk around talk.
Yeah.
I don't think he even really walked around. He just sat in his tent.
So what else do you think about this?
Well, how the fuck do you have so many white writers and white filmmakers making an Asian movie? Could you imagine if Black Panther, you know, like rest in
Was it
peace,
Black Panther
child.
made of white people?
No, everyone was black.
Really?
Yeah, let me look at Black Panther right now.
I mean, I know all the actors were black.
Everything was black. Ryan Coogler, black man. Look at him.
He wrote.
He's a
So what was
director.
his credit on it?
He's a director. He's also one of the writers.
Okay.
Joe Robert Cole, the other writer.
Oh, okay.
Um, Stan Lee, of course, he gets
Stanley,
credited,
okay.
and then Jack Kirby, which is also again Marvel Comics. So it's because it's based on Marvel Comics. I think that's why they got credited.
They considered their writing credits.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was actually the actual movie was made by black people.
Yeah, and then let me
But
see.
it was just based on white people comics.
Let's see. Cinematography was by Rachel Morrison. She's actually did she do Mulan? I think she might have done Mulan too. Let's see, where on the cinematographer of Mulan is no Mandy Walker. Okay, it's totally different. Okay, but yeah, so yeah, they have black creators, and it's about black culture, all like African black culture, pretty much, right? And Mulan's the same. It's Chinese culture. Like one of the biggest issue with my, when I asked my Chinese friends about Mulan, they're like, it's not Chinese, it's not Asian, and that's the same thing. I was like, it's not Asian enough, and they're like, specifically, it's not Chinese enough. Like, freaking, like Black Panther has a straight up African accent or some type. I'm not sure if it's like fictionalized, but it's definitely inspired
Maybe a little
by
more dramatized. But I think I'm sure they did their research and tried to get as close to like a certain base.
Yeah, there was an interview with Chadwick Boseman, man, like he was like he like wanted to work hard for like cancer kids. It was pretty sad, but Chadwick was just saying like, he wanted to work on his accent and make sure the movie can be the best it's gonna be and stuff like that. Mulan, fucking, they told him speak in as clear English as you can. It had like the slightest faint, and I know the cartoons, like their English was pretty solid too. It wasn't that Chinese when it comes to their accent, but like still, like it's different when you do a live action, and especially during this time, right? So like, you got to make it more Chinese, man. Like somehow, nothing felt Chinese. It felt like white. So I talked to you, off like a few days ago about this, right? Where it was like, it felt like really a whitewashed version of Chinese culture. Like you see their architecture and you copy it real quick, and you understand some culture thing where it's all about family, but then you twist it to American to reflect American ideals. Because, well, it's simple. They're not Asian. They don't understand. You can study as much about Asian culture as possible. You can even live there, but like, unless you grew up in an Asian household with Asian parents and relatives, and your like roots is in, yeah, you're not gonna get it. No way. Like, so, and that's why it threw me off so much. Where like it just felt like, their focus was more about feminism ideals, which is fine, but they totally threw the whole family idea to the back burner. It was supposed to be a heroic thing where Mulan sacrificed, like, she risks everything for her dad and family, right? And even her honor. And honor is a big deal. And like, fucking, they just threw the word.
Honor that big a deal.
No, they just threw the word around like, yo, you whatever, honor, blah blah blah, you dishonor us. Like, you didn't feel the
You didn't
impact of
feel the
it.
hurt.
Yeah,
You didn't feel like your honor was broken.
Well, it's because it's
Like
the movie's not Asian enough. Honor is a very Asian, you know,
it's a
ideology.
very high valued Asian
Yeah,
currency,
it's well, Asian value. It's one of the main
Asian
things. It's
value.
honor
Yeah.
and family, right? And they didn't emphasize that enough. So every time they talk about honor, you're just like, what the fuck? Like, who cares? You know, like freaking. They did emphasize more on womanhood, which is fine, but
It was
like
fine. They didn't
it was
I
over the
mean,
top for me. It was stupid. Like fucking she she gets reborn by the Phoenix, like we talked about earlier, and
mm,
the first thing she does is pull down her hair, takes off her armor because she's a woman, not a man. She doesn't need to hide her hair, even though
oh yeah, that was very
even though
rebornish. Huh? Mhm.
even though all the men had long hair and buns too. Like what? Like put down your hair just because.
I don't need to
Oh
hide it.
no. Yeah, I don't know.
It's
Like,
like,
and
yeah,
then
but why not? Why make it
yeah,
obvious?
and then and why take off your armor? You're in a freaking war. You're in the middle of a battle. You just got a hurricane shoved into your chest, or not a hurricane, a
Maybe that
shuriken,
was for
shuriken.
the free the bra people.
Like, no, it's that's again they made it too much of a feminism thing. Again, which is fine, but like it's a
Yeah.
Chinese movie. Like, you got to put in the Chinese culture into it. You know, the only one of my other complaints my friends had was like there was no Chinese character. The only thing that was Chinese was a sword. It had like 3 characters on it or something. Oh, there was
Yeah.
that fucking one line at the end when she got her new sword because she like melted
Oh,
her
and it had
dad's
that
sword.
additional
Yeah, and her
sword.
dad was like, "What's that third last character I see?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, oh my god." That's the worst, cheesiest line ever. Oh my! It just had to have a close up of the 3 characters. What's that third? Oh, God, I get it. They add a third character. Okay, it was so cringy. I hated it. I also like what the she like declined. So just like the original Mulan, right? She got offered a high position, high ranking position. She's like, no, I just want to go back to my family. Super noble. Same thing happened here, except now, right when she gets home, she hugs her dad. 2 minutes later, the soldiers showed up right behind her. I'm like, did they just follow immediately right after her and they're like tailing her this whole time? Like her
Yeah.
whole way back home? And then they offer her a
Well,
job again. They offered a job, but this time they have a new sword or whatever. And she accepts it
yeah.
this time. I'm like, what the fuck? Well, you just said no. What the fuck changed? Oh, I guess you're back at home now, so you don't have to worry about your family. So then now you can accept a job. I mean, I was like, what the? It just made no sense. Like,
Now will you accept the job?
yeah, now that you're
Because
home,
it's Chinese sword. Well, I guess.
like another complaint, and I've heard this from somewhere, but I thought it too, and it was like, you know, the stupid fucking witch. Like, she's the worst bad guy I've ever seen. Everything Mulan does to save the day was because the witch told her shit's going down. And then she comes back, the witch told her. And like, why would you fucking trust the witch after she thrusted shit into your chest and she's literally
The
the
witch was
enemy?
basically like her Mushu.
Kind of, except she's the bad guy. But oh no, she's not really because she saved her. Let me just rant on about the witch for a second, right? So Mulan goes back and to the army after she got banished. Moose comes back to the army, and her only source of info was from the witch. And she's like, "Oh, the empire or the emperor is going to get attacked. There's going to be another
Mm-hmm.
battle." And these
Well, we don't know how
soldiers,
she knows this, but
well, these soldiers in general is just like, "We'll listen to you." I guess nothing changed. Like she has no evidence other than the enemy told her. and then, and then and they're like, okay, you know what? We trust you so much. We have so much respect for you now that you're a woman, and we have to respect that you're a woman. So you know what? We're gonna not only that, we're gonna let you lead. The general said this, right? I'm gonna let you lead all the men and myself back to back to the what's like the kingdom or whatever, right?
Yeah. You take you
You
lead
take
the special squad
yeah,
to
and I'm
something.
just like, what? Why? Okay, so that's one witchy thing. Fucking, she gets she saves Mulan by flying into an arrow, right? I'm like, that's stupid. You're so powerful, you have to sacrifice yourself by a turn. You can't knock the arrow out of the way. Like she
You
grabbed
couldn't
the
have like
sword.
grabbed it.
She grabbed Mulan's sword. Mulan swung her sword at her when they first fought, and she literally grabbed the sword with her bare hands. Like she just swung
So she should
forward.
be able to grab like this arrow with both feet as a hawk.
Yeah, but even if she didn't, sure, whatever. She lost all her brain cells for a moment. You know, like a brain fart at the most integral time. You know, whatever. She had a brain fart, and then the bad guy just couldn't shoot a second fucking arrow. Mulan just laid there holding her. It was a free shot. Just shoot another arrow. He stood
Not
up
like he
there.
wasn't quick.
He waited. She had to climb all the way up that fucking tower to get to him. He waited the whole time. Didn't do anything. Didn't even finish his stupid
He only
monologue.
had one arrow.
Whatever.
So stupid. I know.
Just the whole witch. Like, why is this fuck like? Just let her be the bad guy. Like, why couldn't she be like the Michael B. Jordan, right? The Killmonger in Black Panther. If we want to go back compared to Black Panther, he was the bad guy, but you can understand his, frustrations, his motivations, and at the end of the day, he's the antagonist, but he's not an evil villain. I felt like that's what they wanted to do with her.
She didn't understand her motivation really.
Well, her motivation is supposed to be like, oh, the world has been shit to me because an outcast to me because, well, in the stories because she was a witch. Yeah, the chi thing was stupid.
She was completely.
So
stupid.
Mulan,
everyone have it. They just didn't use it, and
no, you're like born with it. So you have to be born with it. So this is another Chinese thing. My friend said, chi is supposed to be like the Force. Like George Lucas was very inspired by Asian culture, and that's what the Force was in a way, right? It's supposed to be like chi, and that's why like Naruto and stuff, you had chakra and shit or whatever, and like, yeah, it's just chi is just
Asian. It's a very Asian.
Yeah, chi isn't something you're born with. It's just it's like the Force, and it flows through everyone. And it's like you meditate. You meditate and you hone in, you get closer and you like understand it more and shit like that. But chi isn't like something you're born with.
Yeah, it's something you get in touch with spiritually almost.
Yeah, so my Chinese friends are like, what the fuck? Like they even get chi right. Chi's like such a specific Asian thing, obviously.
So many other movies get chi right.
Yeah, like think Avatar or something like that.
Avatar got chi perfect.
Yeah, right. Like everyone is special. They have Airbender, so like they bend shit. And anyways, like they couldn't even get that right. And like so, Mulan was born with chi. Sure, like just sure they got chi wrong. So now Mulan is special.
Yeah.
Mulan is special because she was born with it. Like she wasn't like the cartoon Mulan where she was just a normal girl and she overcame societal pressure and risked everything for her dad. Like she came from a power of strength, like naturally, versus being born with something special in you. So you're pretty much saying not all women are capable of what Mulan is unless they're born with a special element.
Yeah, unless you're born special.
Yeah, like that was stupid. And like she used the chi to cheat. She didn't overcome anything. Her whole issue was that she didn't want to be known as a witch, so she suppressed her chi and she hid it, right? So like that's why at the end or during the training with the fucking water barrels and shit, which is the stupidest fucking shit ever, with the water barrels and shit, like she was just like, oh, I'm gonna use my chi now because why and not? Like it wasn't like she wasn't smart in the original cartoon. She was smart. She overcame the challenge with the arrow on the pole, right? She understood, like, hey, I don't have physical strength, but you know what? If I'm smart, I can through physics and just achieve, like, grab the arrow. Like, you don't need brawn, like, to be a strong warrior. Yeah.
As good as bronze.
Yeah.
Kind of the lesson there.
So that was brilliant in the original, but now it's just like she didn't have to work at all. She was a great fighter to begin with. She stood
She was
toe
born
toe
as a
to
good
toe.
fighter. I mean, she just
Yeah, she
happened to be like happened to just be a tomboy and
well
practice with that stuff.
she was the best soldier when she walked into the camp. She just didn't show it,
Yeah.
right? And she's still the best soldier at the end of it, not because she trained, but because she had this special power. And like she yeah, so it was just
She became
stupid.
the best soldier in the cartoon one because she just adapted and learned
No,
from
she
the
was
training better
smart.
than everyone else.
She was
She was
smart. She
smart, so she was
fucking
able to intake the training. You know,
no.
everyone started on an even keel in the cartoon.
She wasn't even a good fighter. Everything she
That's what I'm
did,
saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm
yeah,
saying everyone went to that training camp as a fucking noob, right?
yeah,
In the cartoon.
yeah.
And the only reason why she became better than some of them as a fighter and stuff like that is because she learned quicker.
Well, she's
And
creative, and she's
well,
yeah, like
okay, well, creativity lets you learn quicker and
well here,
I wouldn't say
let me
gives you
kind
an
of
advantage, but
no, but she is
it makes you think outside the box, and thinking outside the box is what's going to make you be a step above of everyone else, the average.
yeah, like the scene when again two very similar scenes. The scene when she shot the last rocket into the mountain for the
Awesome
avalanche.
scene.
Yeah,
They did a terrible scene this
freaking
time, trying to like making
like
it similar but not the
it.
same.
Well, yeah, but well in the cartoons they made it clear the general wanted to point the rocket at their leader. You know, you have one shot left, point at the leader. You know, at least take him down. Mulan, you know, through her own decision, disobeyed him, saved everyone by taking it and shooting it into the mountain.
Which was a big deal.
So what did
even for a man to disobey a leader command?
yeah?
You know?
So she was smart.
It's huge.
So what did and at the end, like side thing, like Mulan was smart. She like she had the fan, blocked the sword, and she flipped the sword and got the sword. Whatever. It's another moment where she used her brain.
Uses her creativity
Fucking
and her brain.
what did she do in the live action? She in the battle.
She dropped her sword in lava immediately.
You know, but well, I'm gonna talk about the battle with Avalanche.
Okay, yeah, the last battle, the final battle.
No, not the final one. Not the one at the
oh, the actual the mountain battle.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like, you know, what did she do? She ran around the battlefield. That's not even fucking snowy to begin with.
Right.
She grabbed some helmets, propped them up. She shot arrows at the bad guys, and somehow 5 helmets and 1 person shooting arrows at the army distracted the entire. I don't know what they were, Mongolians. I mean, let's just call them Mongolians.
Something else.
There was some witchy thing because they didn't want to like offend people and
yeah.
So whatever, the Mongolians. Let's just call them that because that's the
like made up the Mongols.
So she distracted the whole army, and they were somehow they turned an entire fucking catapult around 180 and shot, and that was luck. I don't consider that smartness, brains. Like so
obviously know how far that catapult shoots, right? Like,
well, yeah, like they just totally missed
that much.
But okay, so it's luck, right? Because there's no way that Mulan was like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna trick them to turn their catapults around. Like if she thought that she could be,
she could have just been making an opportunity open, like an open opportunity. Sometimes that's all you can do. Like when you're already screwed in battle, the best thing you could do is open up opportunity.
Yeah, but it's not a direct thought. In the cartoon, it was a direct thought. I'm intentionally stealing this last rocket and trying to create an avalanche. In the cartoons,
it was shitty from the beginning because she didn't have that plan.
Well, people can argue she had that plan. Her plan the whole time was to have them fire a catapult at the mountain. But that's like luck. Like how would you know they would do that? Like they can easily just send a few men up there.
Interpretation of that it was her plan or not.
No, that's stupid. Like if people interpreted that, it's because they're trying to draw too much similarities or something.
Yeah.
But like naturally, that's not normal. Like you're not gonna. The realistic thing, and that's why this movie direction was terrible. Like the realistic thing, this there's a few soldiers up there. Go deal with them. like shoot a giant catapult, which isn't fucking accurate at all. Like shouldn't be that accurate to begin with.
Right. You should. I mean, they should know approximately how far it shoots.
Yeah.
Like, aim
But
that
even like
catapult and shoot it with
okay,
sir. It's gonna hit
no,
the
no.
mountain.
Like
Shoot
think
it
about
anyways.
any fucking medieval movie. All right, there's two soldiers up there. Let's try to hit them with a clunky catapult. Like shoot arrows, fucking something. Like a catapult isn't designed for one person. But anyways,
And they knocked over like 4 of the 5 helmets. So like they killed 4 of the 6 people that were over there.
yeah.
So like
And
it was like
and me just imagining Mulan like whatever. Like I'm just not. I was gonna say like running across. You didn't have to imagine it because it showed her running around the battlefield picking up helmets. I'm like, no one saw that. Really, she's just galloping
has
around
them
picking up.
now.
Anyways, and then somehow she flanks them all too. Like what the fuck? There's a
Yeah.
long line of them. But anyways,
Well, surprises us.
how the fuck? Like the catapult doesn't go that far, and there's no snow on them. So if they hit the base, even a little bit elevation of the mountain, right? How much snow can there really be
It
on
has
this
to be
mountain?
covered in snow in order for snow to avalanche like over it. For the
Well,
most
it
part.
was covered in snow, but it was done in such an unbelievable way. Like we've been up to the mountain before when there was snow. There's some time, so it's like pure dirt, and you see some patches of snow, and then it progresses. But literally, it was dry ass rocks, huge patch of mountain snow, right behind Mulan, and I'm like, I get it. You hit the base of it. Maybe there's like a domino
Yeah, it
effect,
could be. Who
and
knows? Maybe things are weird.
but
in China
stupid.
landscape.
But like fucking speaking of catapult, like fucking like all these all these soldiers, the whole army. I'm talking about the Chinese army, the good guys.
Mhm.
Gets attacked by crows, and they're like all freaking out. They like have to turtle up with their shields. They're like fucking birds attacking us. Let's just huddle up and get hit by
Start
catapults.
swinging.
They don't even
instead of
swing,
start
they're just-
even not even swinging their swords. Or
I'm like,
anything.
what's your plan? What's your game plan here, dude? Run away or something. You're just sitting ducks hoping the birds would go away or what while you're being smashed by fiery rocks. Like, I'm just like, you guys can't be this dumb. So like,
No, they're dumb.